Hello everybody, thank you for watching the second video. I wanted to do a quick portfolio breakdown and show total account value, what positions I hold, what options I currently have in place, and then also go through my performance tab to see how I'm doing compared to the under indexes over different time frames. So I'll jump right in here. So this is my options account. This is one of my accounts that I hold at Charles Schwab, and one of the many accounts I hold at different brokerages as well. This one is particularly geared for this strategy, as I mentioned in my past video. So I call it the options portfolio. A little bit of a play on words because I sell options in it, but also it allows me options in life, I guess. So having money or income that I can use for whatever I need it for. In this case, right now, I'm using it to pay my mortgage and my student loans. So, jumping into it, the total account value right now is $83,113.74. Right now, it shows a negative total cash balance, and that's because I have margin out. Like I mentioned, I am withdrawing my mortgage and student loan payment every month on margin. So it's going to always show a negative there, or at least for the next few years. So total market value with this back in there, invested back or equated back into the market value would be $89,047.25. So total day change of yesterday, today is Saturday, so of the trading day yesterday, Friday, total days change was 1,000 positive 1,492.19 or 1.83%. My total cost basis is $88,047.18, and then total gain or loss is about $1,000. This is always going to fluctuate quite a bit because of options, so I don't pay too much attention to the numbers up here, but I just wanted to go through them very quickly. So jumping into my positions, I mentioned previously that I am seeking 20 to 30% yield per month on my holdings to provide enough income to hit the goals that I have in place, but also I want to balance out a little bit with some growth. Right now I'm very heavy in the high yield ETFs, and I'm doing that intentionally because I'm trying to be a little bit more aggressive in the beginning of this process, and then I'm going to scale back accordingly. So most of these positions I started out with a lump sum, and now I'm starting to scale into different positions that aren't so high paying, a little bit, I guess, quote, safer investments. And I want to scale back the percentage as I get closer to my goal, and then eventually make it more less and less risky. So I do own one share of Google. I just bought it the other day. I think that Google is in a good spot right now. It's been a little bit beaten down because of the news of possibly having to break them up. I like the PE ratio of it, and I like a lot of other things about the company. I won't get too deep into why I purchased it, but I do have one of them right now, and I plan to buy more. Again, I just pulled the trigger on this just a few days ago. Jumping into the high yield stuff that I currently have. I just bought 16 more shares, I think it was yesterday or Thursday, of GPIX, which is Goldman Sachs covered call ETF. So I currently have 17 shares there, cost basis of $50. So I'm about even on it because I just bought more. This pays roughly 10 to 12% back every month. Similar to GPIX is JEPI, Jepi. A lot of people know about this one. This is a good one too as well for higher yield, but quote safe-ish, I guess. It's about 10 to 12% as well that it pays per month. I've got 80 shares of that. One of the more popular ones, Misty, MSTY. I have 545 shares of that. Cost basis of $26.63. It's currently sitting at $21.68. But as I'll do in probably my next video, I'll break down how many of these I hold, how much I've gotten back, and how much I'm actually up in total return. As of right now, I'm up in just about all of them. So even though it shows a negative here, the income that I've received from it already gives me a positive total income, a total return. So next one would be QQQ. I have 2 shares of just the QQQ index. a little bit more geared towards growth there. SGov, like I mentioned in my previous video, I'm using this to hold cash that I use to sell options contracts, mostly cash secured puts until they get assigned. If they get assigned, then I sell the appropriate amount of shares from this fund to cover whatever I had to use to purchase that particular stock or ETF that I was selling a put on. So this is really just a holder. The nice thing is it pays right now about 4%. So I have 343 shares of this. I have 2 shares of SPY. The goal with both of QQQ and SPY is to eventually grow these to 100 shares. And that way I can sell options on them. I want to own them when I get to 100 and then have, a nice cost basis, hopefully by the time that happens, and then sell very, very conservative cover calls. Not necessarily looking to generate high income from it or even anything to do with, just contribute a little bit to the portfolio while also capturing that growth and not losing the shares. So that's kind of my goal for QQQ and SPY. I bought them a couple months ago and they've just been going up since. So I'll continue to scale into those. SPYI, this one it follows the SPY but is a higher yielding fund. ULTY, ULTY, a lot of people know this one. It has gotten more and more popular now since they changed things up and how they're selling how they're managing the fund. It has now been very, very stable in price and actually has been going up and pays a very, very consistent dividend as of late. So I have 566 shares of that, and that has treated me well so far. XDTE, I have 467 shares of this. This is one that I was going to use as like my main core holding, and then I just saw how good Ulti and Misty were doing, and I had to put a little bit into it, and so far they've been doing very well. YMAX, I started with 100. I plan to scale into this one a bit more. I will say for MSTY, ULTY, and YMAX, these are all yield max funds. I'm proceeding with caution on these. I have the amount in there that I kind of want, roughly. I don't have like a dollar amount that I want to have in them, but right now I'm pretty heavily weighted on them. I do have a large amount in XTTE, but I want to get into some of these other funds before I start putting more into YMAX, Misty, and Ulti. But I do like their payout so far, and I am up on all of them, which is great. So I'll continue to scale in appropriately. So that's for all of just my main holdings at the moment. I don't have plans to add, I don't think, anything else at the moment. I'll continue to scale into Google, SPY, and QQQ if an opportunity presents itself. That's what's nice about having this SGOV is I can sell some of this, stop selling as many options or cash secured puts, and I can use that cash to buy into a position. Say a stock has just terrible earnings, but I like the stock and I think it's going to jump back up short term for a couple weeks. I could buy into it or sell cash secured puts on it, like Target a few weeks ago, and maybe reap the rewards when it goes back up. That being said, going to my options that I currently have in place right now. So I sell cash secured puts on BITX. I was assigned a while back, so I've been selling calls on it for a while. So right now I have a 51 call for August 8th. I have a put, a $7.25 $63 strike put on Bros, BROS. I have a 92 strike put on Starbucks. I have a 99 strike put on Target, and I have 7 contracts for 700 $13 strike puts on TSLL. These are all sold. I do not buy any options, and I don't intend to. I really just want to sell cash secured puts or even naked puts and sell calls or cover calls. So that's what I have right now. Again, I don't pay attention to the gain loss on these. It's not accurate in my mind. The way that I run it, basically I sell weeklies right now. So I'll sell a put weekly on Fridays typically. I set a good to cancel order for $1. If it never hits it, fine. I roll it the next week, and if it's over my strike or under my strike, I roll it. If not, I see if it makes sense to take assignment, if it's beneficial to sell calls, and then my intent is to get it called away as soon as possible for a break even, and so I can get back to selling puts as quickly as possible. If I sell it and it just gets blown through, then I might consider rolling it out to 2 or 3 weeks, but I don't like to go beyond that. If that's the case, I'll just take assignment and I'll begin to sell covered calls until I can get it called away. And then obviously if we have a situation like April where everything just drops so fast, I'm comfortable with holding these longer term if I need to and wait for the price to come back up, or sell super conservative calls against them. So that's why I chose these: Bros, Starbucks, Target. So this is Dutch Bros, and then this is a Tesla ETF. I'm comfortable holding all of these longer term if I need to. This one less so, but still comfortable holding it for a little bit of time if need be for it to come back up in price. So far, the last month and a half, everything's been really good. The market's just been going up, so it makes selling puts super easy. But I'm not naive. I know that can change at any time. So just wanted to quickly go through that. I'll do another video, just like to keep these shortish. I'll do another video on the tabs that I showed in my previous video, where I keep track of everything and the cost basis, total return, all that. I'll actually go through all of those, but I wanted to show this. And then lastly, I will show my performance for this account. So starting from least to most, we'll go 3 month, 1 year, 2024 year to date, and then max. So this does take into account net contributions as well. I believe these are pretty accurate, but I have to go based on what they're telling me. So my options account right now for the last 3 months is up 30.36% compared to the next best, which would be the NASDAQ at 28.52. So beating it there as of right now. For the 1 year, my options account is at 24.05. Next best would be 18.70, which is the NASDAQ. So I'm beating it in 1 year as well. 2024, options 18.99. Next best is 18.4, so squeaking out a little bit of a win there against the NASDAQ as of for all of 2024. And keep in mind on all these, this is total return, so this includes income, which obviously I'm in high yield ETF funds that pay up to 30% yield, or up to even more than 30% yield on average. So that's why it's factoring in here. And then year to date right now, 2025, I'm up 9.72 against the NASDAQ 8.6. So up a little bit more than 1% on that. And then since these accounts got moved over, I was with TD Ameritrade, and then Schwab bought them out. So since I got moved over in May of last year, I am up annualized 25.31% against 23.70. So up almost to about a percentage and a half point over the NASDAQ. So beating it on all time frames as of right now. And my positions right now are looking really good. The market for the last month and a half has been just really doing nothing but rising, with the occasional drop here and there. So I will continue to keep that up, hopefully, and continue to invest accordingly and continue to grow this account as aggressively as possible, but also being safe-ish with what I'm investing in. Again, I'll go through my next tabs on my next on my tabs on my sheet in my next video, and the sheet that I use to track my income every month as well, and then some of my results there.